This is Smoking Out the Closet. Now, here are your hosts, Alex and Rayven Greer.
Hey, it's Rayven. I wanted to announce 2 new affiliate programs that Smoking Out the Closet is now a part of. First, I would like to announce a Pittsburgh local company, The Hemp Co., with 2 E's in The. They offer hemp-derived products including Delta 8 and Delta 9 gummies, vape cartridges, and pre-rolls, HHC vape cartridges, and sustainably used devices and products. All products are made with hemp bioplastic for all your cannabis device needs. And every product is third-party lab tested, DEA certified, and Farm Bill compliant. If you're looking to visit them in person, you can visit them at 20280 Route 19, Number 3, Cranberry Township, Pennsylvania, 16066, or online at theehempco.com. Be sure to use SOTC20 at checkout for 20% off on us. And we're also wildly excited about our partnership with Blazy Susan. They offer their iconic Blazy Susan rolling tray, as well as papers and cones in unbleached hemp, their famous pink, and their brand new purple colors. Follow our affiliate link in the show notes and use Blazy10, BLAZY10, for 10% off on checkout. Now, on with the episode. Hi, I'm Rayven.
You shouldn't have done that.
Her pronouns. I move too fast.
I'm Alex. I use they, them pronouns.
Welcome back to another episode of Raven's High as Fuck.
Or as we also call this, Smoking Out the Closet. My goodness. This is what happens when Rayven takes dabs. You little bitch.
How is everybody? Oh, fuck. I think the flu shot's starting to hit me.
Yeah, we went and got our flu shots today. Everybody go do that if you haven't done that, first of all. It is the season. Go get your flu shot, your COVID boosters, all that jazz.
Also, for those of you who are new or just joining us for the first time, hi. We're a queer podcast that talks about cannabis, the LGBT community, and everything in between and beyond. So welcome.
Welcome.
So I wanted to start with the review. We are on Terrapin's grapefruit cupcake.
I think it's a crumble. Is this a crumble?
Yes, it's classified as a crumble, but I can't remember if the C was cake or cupcake. We had this
grapefruit cupcake.
We had this strain on as flower before, but this is the first episode we're doing in November, and officially the first of No Nug November.
For the podcast,
For the podcast, yeah. We don't have enough money to do that constantly every day, so we're taking some shortcuts in between. But podcast-wise, this entire month we're going to be talking about
concentrates,
vaporizers, distillates, anything that is not flower.
Yeah, because I feel like we do a
lot of reviews on flower.
We do a lot of flower.
And I mean, it's because we like flower. That's our personal preference, but we want to sign.
Words are hard. It's okay.
We wanted to bring other forms of cannabis into the limelight. God,
you are struggling. I'm so sorry.
So do you want to bring up how you felt with this first while I go grab my drinky drink?
Yeah, it's okay. Hi, Phineas. Was not super amped about it when I first tried it, because this is not my first time sitting down and dabbing this. Because we just have our Dr. Dabber sitting on the dabbing room table.
Yeah. Also, follow our affiliate link for Dr. Dabber.
Absolutely. Press all the buttons down in the description. But yeah, I've been sitting there some nights because this is an indica strain.
Man, this one's giving us brain fog.
Yeah, indica. The good thing it's an indica. Because I have taken some dabs of this and went to bed. But man, is it makes my eyes itchy. That's not the greatest. It's not my.
Can you read that?
Probably not.
To talk about terps on it.
Fuck.
Well, if not, I'll use my phone to zoom in.
Okay, it has a full percent of beta-myrcene. It has 0.3% linalool, 0.37% caryophyllene or caryophyllene, however you want to pronounce it. 0.238 limonene. Humulene is 0.154. Osmium is 0.119, and everything's under 0.1% else of it.
I mean, that's still pretty high. I mean, that beta-myrcene is going to be good for muscle pain. That humulene is definitely going to be an appetite suppressant. Honestly, I was a little snackish when we got home.
Yeah.
I'm not very right now.
No.
Like, I could eat, but
yeah. That candy you gave me was nice for my tongue, though.
And this is probably helping a little bit, too.
Yeah.
I mean, it's coming in about like 93.815 THCA, 0.267 THC, and CBGA coming in at 2.373. I mean, it's really great. It's a high potency high, and I'm feeling that. I'm not really feeling much of the medical benefits of it, though, other than the myrcene a little bit. Like, I'm less achy than I was.
I'm just ever so slightly. I was extra achy today because I had like a kind of tighter like sports bra compression thing going on, and it was kind of hurting my back a little bit. And it's not. I mean, my muscles are relaxed, but I'm still kind of achy. If that makes sense.
It's like it just dulled it a little.
Yeah, I'm not as tensed up about it, but I still kind of hurt. I don't know. My eyes get really itchy with this. I feel like I could fall asleep, but I'm.
Well, what would you rate this?
I think I'm sorry, I'm yawning. I think I'd just give it like it's like a 3 out of 5. It's nothing crazy amazing, but it's not. I don't know. It's nothing. I feel like I definitely would need more of this to feel more of the effects.
I will say, giving my introduction to dabs, because I am new to them, was Super Silver Thai, and that was fucking amazing. This didn't hit as nice as that did. Really great flavor, but I mean, I'd agree with you on that 3 out of 5, just because I'm not feeling much of the medical benefits from it.
I do also have to give everyone this disclaimer. Dabs don't get me fucked up.
Yeah, they don't.
I have sat down and done a whole half gram of AK concentrate in one sitting and was just kind of stoned. And yeah, usually I've talked to other people in the cannabis community, that these dabs definitely have a different feel to them. They're more medical, but like I still don't feel a lot.
And this comes down to like everyone's chemical makeup being a little bit different.
Some people can only do dabs, and that's what ruined their tolerance for like flower and stuff.
And then some people like me get hit a little bit harder than with dabs than like flower. I also get very easily kind of thrown with edibles too, so maybe we need to run it the Dr. Dabber at a higher temperature. Maybe that's what we need to do.
Yeah, definitely.
Because
I know when I do dry or vaporize, I run my flower up a little higher, get it a little crispier, but also pull some of those terps and some of that stuff out a little bit more.
Now, keep in mind, we're running this about like a 300 degrees, so maybe we should run a little higher next time.
Yeah.
That being said, I'm definitely a 3 out of 5.
Yeah.
I'm definitely 3 out of 5, just because.
You, I feel like, are very stuffed.
Oh no, I am.
I took at least 4 more dabs than you, and I am. If I was smoking a J, I probably would just keep going at this point. This is the start, the first quarter of the J for me. Is how I feel right now.
I will say, yeah, I am a lot higher, but I think that's all I'm feeling is the high.
Yeah.
You know? And like the results it said based on the the terpenes, sorry, I was expecting a little bit more from the beta-myrcene, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. This definitely, the only muscles it really relaxes for me are my eyelids. I feel like I don't know, very scratchy. This is my one thing. I told people I work with about this too, is that it makes my eyes super scratchy. And I don't know if that's just a me thing or it might just, be the Be the dab. I don't know.
It could be. Do you want to talk? Okay. So with it being No Nug November, we can't speak for every state, but do you want to talk about the forms of cannabis besides just flower? Even though that's only vaporized only, with PA. What forms of cannabis there are in Pennsylvania that are allowed?
Yeah, so we briefly kind of talked about one of the other ones, RSO.
Mm-hmm.
We have tinctures as well. We have capsules.
Capsules, yeah.
And
I will say there are different types of capsules though.
There are
too.
different types of capsules.
Typically, you have RSO or you have nano emulsion.
Yes, which I like me some RSO capsules. Those are nice.
I like that. What was the one you brought that one time?
That was Cool Grapes, 66 from Grassroots, 5 milligram capsules.
I like
RSO
that.
Capsules.
I like
that. Nice thing about your RSO capsules too is they're already going to have a fat. Those have coconut oil that they bind to inside the capsule. So that way, if you're like me and have a hard time bringing yourself to eat something when you're trying to medicate first thing in the morning, definitely good with those capsules. Still, you probably should still eat something.
Also, I mean, just a glass of milk or something like that. But also, like, they're perfectly dosed, which is what I like.
Because there have been many mornings where I have just thrown some RSO and some peanut butter, walked out the door, and when it hit me, and I was at work, I was like, I think I eyeballed that RSO this morning. Oh well, here we go.
There's also distillates you can get.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I will say our tinctures in our state aren't alcohol-based, but there are alcohol-based tinctures. Let's see, what else is there? The myriad of concentrates.
And
so
different consistencies of those.
Now, I will say in the state of Pennsylvania, the advertised consistency is not always why they're labeled. Sometimes it's just the extraction process of how they make it, like rhythm. All their concentrates are called in the state of PA are called Crumble because it's extracted in a typically BHO extraction process that produces a drier resin. So it's not super saucy.
Mm-hmm.
And they just call it all Crumble.
The Penn Health Group wax, I think I've talked about on the show before. The Wi-Fi banana was a wax. It was advertised as a wax, and it was extremely saucy and separated. Like there was a wax in there, but it was also had some sort of sauce with it.
Like a wax in sauce. Almost.
Yeah, and I stirred it together to almost get a wax consistency, but it was very runny.
No, this grapefruit sugar we have is a sugar, and I would argue it's more of a crumble kind of consistency.
It is a very dry sugar.
But yeah, that's the thing in PA, and I know some of our listeners probably in other states are going to be like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" It's a weird PA thing.
Yeah. I will say our shatter is shatter. Shatter's universal. I have bought shatter before. It is shatter. It's hard.
I've never seen shatter that was not actual shatter.
I've heard maybe once about. Yeah, I forgot to like either put it in the fridge. I left it sit, or it got too warm. It turned into pull and snap, which still isn't bad.
No, we do sell diamonds in sauce.
Yes, and we also do sell diamonds.
Diamonds, yeah. Which are more.
I really want to try those.
I do too. Diamonds in sauce is kind of like just giant salt, like kind of like rock candy almost.
Yeah.
Just chunks of rock candy in like a little sauce, or just diamonds and straight rock candy.
Yeah.
Kind of consistency.
You ever pick those up and just kind of shake them?
Rock candy or diamonds and sauce?
Diamonds. Just diamonds. You ever pick up your diamonds?
We don't get diamonds a lot in my store. No.
Every once in a while, I'll give a flip because sometimes they do. Same thing with flour. You can hear with some of the crumbles and stuff if they start to get dry. You can hear them in there.
No, we do sell resin and rosin.
Mm-hmm.
Rosin is new. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. The extraction process is a big thing. Rosin is typically flash frozen for the moment of harvest. They extract it. They don't take any of the terpenes out and put it back in. It's just all there.
Yeah.
But they don't lose it with the extraction process that they use, like BHO or supercritical CO2, because it is flash frozen. And basically, it's everything from the plant the moment it is harvested, processed, and put into a kind of like Play-Doh-y consistency.
Okay.
If I'm correct on that.
And that was which one?
Rosin.
Rosin, okay. But resin,
Yeah, and that's why I'm putting emphasis on the part, because resin is typically alcohol or BHO extracted.
yes.
They take the terpenes out when they're producing most of the product, crude in terms of like that crude oil consistency,
Mm-hmm.
and then they throw it back in when they're ready to actually form it into the form that they're looking for.
Yeah.
At least that's how I remember one of the representatives from one of the grow processors explained it to me. I'm also very high and tired from running errands.
And from your flu shot.
Yeah. So that's how I remember it, but we do have that. The only company that I know is selling that is FloCal, and every dispensary is supposed to keep it in the fridge.
Yeah.
With rosin, that's what I'm talking about. Rosin needs to be kept at 45 degrees or lower.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of them recommend putting it in your fridge at home, or if you have like the ability to actually have like a wine fridge or a mini fridge that you can actually like set the temperature.
Like an essential oils fridge.
Yeah, that you can set the temperature to an exact temp.
Yeah.
Just talk to your bud tender or representatives. They'll tell you.
I've heard it's also recommended to put your extracts in the refrigerator.
Yeah, it can be.
Your concentrates.
Oh, that reminds me. Speaking of extracts, elixirs. We have elixirs that are able to lift states.
I keep forgetting about them.
Not a whole lot of companies that do it. It's only one that I know of.
I think it's Organic Remedies, isn't it? And they have the strawberry one. That's the one we have right now in my store.
We used to get the grape something.
Oh, that sounds amazing.
Basically, elixirs, from my understanding, is basically just a cannabis-infused 5-hour energy.
Cannabis potions.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, it's not going to have like the zibby feeling that 5-hour energy does, but it's basically just like a drinkable cannabis thing.
That's when I knew my caffeine addiction went too far, when I started putting those in my energy drinks.
Oh, God.
And my soda. Yep, that was, yep.
But they're not drinks. Like, it's more like a...
There's this little... They also come with droppers.
Some do, some don't.
Yeah.
Some you can just knock back. It's in almost, from what I was told by one of my coworkers, it's almost like the bottle of 5-hour energy, just glass.
Interesting.
And it comes with a dropper if you want to like microdose with it.
Yeah.
I
kind of want to buy one of these now. They're usually kind of cheapish.
But you just it's just like a shot almost, and it's more of like a tonic, kind of like a cough syrup kind of level.
Cannabis cough syrup.
Yeah, but it's not really used to be a cough syrup. I'm just really bad at explaining this one. I'm sorry, because
okay.
I have no experience
I have never
with it.
experienced those.
We might buy one and do a review with it.
There are also spray tinctures, which are basically tinctures, but you can spray them into your mouth. I had one of those.
Cresco.
Your thing comes apart. Your container, your spray container. I lost about half of it because it popped apart.
Let's see. Oh, can I go back to RSO real quick?
Yeah, let's go back to RSO.
We haven't explained that fully.
RSO.
So RSO usually is like in a like syringe that kind of pushes out a little oil and everything. Some of you grow processors out there, fucking stop making these goddamn lids for these fucking things so goddamn tight.
Mm-hmm.
I've had so many patients come in and tell me that they tried taking the top off with pliers and they still can't get it off.
Also, I've broken the collar on my RSO syringe too, because those fucking caps, I can't get it off. And guess what you use for backwards torsion? I use the collar for where the syringe tip is, and I can't get it off. And it gets so sticky.
So for those of you who don't know what RSO is, it is Rick Simpson oil. Basically, once a plant is harvested and cured, they just take the whole fucking thing, stem, sugar leaf, everything, basically the whole plant, break it down into a crude oil, and there you go.
That's so great, though. It gives you, I feel like it's cleaner, if that makes sense. It's like a cleaner, more medicated.
A lot of people argue it's a more pure, because it's basically the plant in its fairest form going through.
I love it. It lasts so much longer. It does take a while to kick in.
Well, any ingestible does.
Yeah.
But definitely take it with a fat protein, and definitely start with half a grain of rice size, because you are going to get fucked up your first time.
It's very potent. Very, very potent.
And then, so we're legally not allowed to sell edibles in the state of Pennsylvania, which is typically why I say ingestibles, because tinctures you're allowed to ingest, capsules you can ingest, RSO you can ingest. But they're labeled on a lot of websites as edibles, and it's a misnomer.
Mm-hmm.
we're legally not allowed to sell edibles. So we can't sell butter, we can't sell cookie, like actual like
Cookies,
food, cookies,
gummies.
brownies, gummies,
Nothing like that.
nothing. The closest thing that anyone's gotten is some dispensaries have been selling medicated lozenges.
Mm-hmm.
These are usually to help people with like throat cancer and anything. It's kind of newer.
Yeah.
There's not been any studies done whether it's beneficial or not, but that's the closest we've gotten to in the state of Pennsylvania. Now, that being said, you are legally allowed to make your own edibles. We just can't sell it.
Yeah.
As dispensary employees. But we'll give you recipes.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I've given people that gummy recipe that you use.
Same.
It's amazing.
I love it.
Yeah. The special ingredient as well. The Cairo syrup.
Oh yeah, that you need to have. It has to be Cairo.
Yeah, it's just the nicest, best consistency, and it gets them nice and jiggly. Jiggly.
Let's see, what else is there? So with the capsules going, RSO obviously is just basically they fill it with RSO.
They do predetermined amount of RSO. There's a certain formula that they use for RSO and for tinctures and everything to figure out how much
medicinal benefit is per dose.
Milligrams.
Oh,
that's what I was going for per capsule.
I wanted to bring up nanoemulsion though.
Yeah.
So nanoemulsion, in really basic terms, is basically they take the flour and blend it till it's a fine powder. And then put it in a thing. Obviously, it's a lot more complicated than that, and there's actual like full-on science
They're just
to it.
blending your weed and putting it in veggie caps.
But essentially, it's kind of like a mix between the flour and keef in a pill form.
Interesting. Oh, speaking of keef, I need to scrape my.
Oh yeah, because keef misses around the corner.
Yeah, keef miss. I need to scrape my grinders.
Do we want to talk about real quick for 10 minutes? Because I think we covered all the different kinds that are in PA. So we're going to be doing reviews. If you have recipes for edibles you think we should try, we are going to do an episode where we talk about edibles and trying them over a few times, giving them kind of a score. And we'll talk about that for an entire episode.
I want to make brownies. I want to go old school. I want to make brownies.
I think we're going to do that as the last episode of the month, so we have time to try these things. Do you want to talk about that one?
Oh yeah, I totally forgot. So around the last time, I still can't believe time is weird. It doesn't work right. But I forgot there was another kind of big cannabis holiday around the corner. Instead of just 7-Eleven and 420, we have Green Wednesday, which is the Wednesday before Thanksgiving, where everybody rushes to their dispensary
or their plug
and grabs their pot for Thanksgiving.
Yeah, because everyone's going to do their Thanksgiving walk.
Yes. I'll just be like, give me 1 second, gonna go outside for a little bit and come back in and eat all that turkey and all that stuffing. Now, can I also say Turkey Day? Because Thanksgiving is attached to Christopher Columbus and
no, it's more the pilgrims and the settlers, but they still weren't
settlers
the
and the shit and all of that shit. But the Turkey Day, Family Day. There we go.
November, the third Wednesday of November, or third
Thursday
of November, is the day we're referring to, where everyone typically eats a big family meal. Get your shit on the Wednesday before. If you're going to wait till last minute to get your supplies, get it the Wednesday before, because no one's going anywhere except for with family on Thursday.
Yeah, and that's usually, we had sales and stuff last year, I remember, and a bunch of places have sales. Go hit up your medical dispensaries and get your Green Wednesday sales. Yeah,
because a lot of dispensaries are going to basically have essentially a Black Friday fucking sale on Wednesday.
For weed.
A lot of them do. From what I remember seeing, and I can't say what our stores are doing yet or not. We don't know.
No idea.
But going on to last year, it was pretty decent, I would say. So yeah, get your shit, man. God, I sound so high.
Yeah.
No, but definitely get it, because sales, and you want to use as much as you can before you eat, especially. Let me make some recommendations on ones to avoid. Avoid high humulene or humulene and avoid things that are high in THCV because those are both going to be appetite suppressants.
You want THCA and terpenoline.
Exactly.
It makes you hungry.
If you're going to go for that, I'm going to eat a crap ton today. It's Thanksgiving, Turkey Day, Friendsgiving, the third Thursday of November, whatever, you're eating with your family. You want to eat a lot of that food. Get the THCV and terpenoline heavy strains.
THCA,
sorry.
THCA.
I mixed
A
them
for
up.
appetite, V is a downward pointing arrow.
Yep, that's how I remember.
Yee.
But yeah, get terpenoline and THCA because you're gonna eat a lot. Plus, it just makes the Macy's Day Float Parade seem all that better.
Yeah.
Now, also keep in mind, Green Wednesday is probably going to be busy. So if you have your eye on some stuff you want, but it's a little pricey, wait till that day to use it. Get some of the basics before that day if you can, because there's probably going to be a line. And you might not, if there's something you have your eye on, and you're worried about it going, getting grabbed pretty fast, get it when you can. But make sure you just have the basics, and make sure you have your smoke kit or your sesh kit or whatever you want to call it during the holiday, especially for that walk.
Yeah.
I honestly don't know what else to bring up about Green Wednesday other than it's going to be a big sale day probably for a lot of dispensaries across the country. I heard in California has gotten pretty big before.
Dang.
I'm very. I kind of want to see how New Jersey is going to be.
Yeah, because isn't this their first Green Wednesday rec?
Yeah, it's their first rec Green Wednesday.
Yeah. Oh, next 420 is their first rec 420.
They got a whole lot of first next year.
Yeah.
Coming up. Oh boy. But yeah, I think we're at a good point to take a break and head into our ad spot. And then we'll come back and kind of talk about things that are going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey there, it's Alex from Smoking Out the Closet. We've been so glad to be able to make this podcast for you. And we now have some partners who are happy to help make this podcast happen as well. Our friends over at Da Vinci Vapors have sent us one of their many amazing products, the IQC Dry Herb Vaporizer. If you've been listening to the podcast for a while, you've heard us talk about Da Vinci, and we've even used the IQC on the show. With a 0.5 gram dry herb chamber, 30-second heat up time, precision temperature control, removable and rechargeable 18650 battery, and an on time of 2 hours, what's not to love about the Da Vinci IQC? Well, what if we told you you can get an extra 15% off just for listening to this podcast? That's right, use the code SOTC15 for 15% off at checkout site-wide. Thanks again to our friends over at Da Vinci Vapors, and now, back to the episode.
All right, and we are back. You got the floor.
Fucking daylight savings time. Because we went to our break and I'm like, what time is it? Is it like fucking 10 o'clock? No, it's, what do you say?
8:11.
8:11. It's fucking dark outside. I hate daylight savings time. It gets so dark and I have no idea what time it is. None whatsoever. I can't even look outside to guess.
Yeah, because we were coming, the sun was setting. It was 5.
Yeah, well, we were coming home from the doctor. Ridiculous. I don't understand why we do it. Also, I was doing some more research into if we were actually going to stop doing this. Apparently there's been a freeze put on that.
Of course
there has been. We can't can we just no more daylight savings time, please. I don't know who it's benefiting anymore at this point.
No one.
It's supposed to save energy, but even fucking Arizona doesn't do it because that means their sun wouldn't set until 9 o'clock at night.
Mm-hmm.
So they just say fuck it. Why can't we all just say fuck it? It doesn't matter.
So for those of you who are unaware, November is Transgender Awareness Month.
I made a stupid joke when you first told me this outside of the podcast.
Oh yeah?
I was like, yeah. Do you not remember?
No.
I was like, yes, I'm aware that I'm transgender.
Oh yeah. And for those of you who don't know, Transgender Day of Remembrance is the 20th. So we'll probably be recording that day. It won't be out before it, unless we mention it in next week's episode. But yeah, it's Transgender Awareness Month, and basically this month's whole thing is to bring up the fact that transgender people, trigger warning here, are victims of hate crimes and unfortunately lose their life a lot of times. And the list just keeps getting bigger and bigger every year. So it's a big thing, I think, to note that, like, hey, trans people are who they are. Just because Western society is made as in two boxes does not mean there hasn't been transgender people for centuries and decades, millennia.
As long as there have been humans.
Because we're weird. We don't fit in weird little boxes, but neither does the rest of nature. So,
Exactly.
Do you want to say anything about the month, honey?
Just be good allies. If you're listening to this podcast as an ally and not somebody in the community, be an active ally is better than just like an ally, right? If you hear somebody getting misgendered from someone else in conversation, correct them if that person is not there. Like, go above and beyond to make sure that your trans people that in your life are safe. Check in on them. Because like you said, not only like do trans people fall victims to hate crimes, they also have a higher suicide rate. So especially with the seasonal depression adding on top of everything else, make sure your pals are safe.
And it's really easy to lower that odd of them becoming a statistic with that. Gendering them correctly, using their preferred name, or using the name they want to go by, seeing them as who they are.
Their correct pronouns, because gendering people correctly and using their name is suicide prevention. That's just point blank to the point. That's straight and simple.
Also, trans people aren't like a fetish, so don't fucking fetishize us. I'm so fucking sick of that. As a trans woman, stop fucking doing that. It's gross.
Yeah.
But also, like, hey, states, get rid of your gay and trans panic laws.
Right.
Fucking stupid.
Make more gender neutral bathrooms.
That'd be nice.
Be more inclusive.
And also during concert events, looking at UPPG Arena.
Yeah, Jesus fucking Christ. Okay, when I went to go see the Smashing Pumpkins, I needed to piss and I couldn't be comfortable pissing because you had the gender neutral family bathrooms fucking closed for the Smashing Pumpkins concert. Yes, I understand you're concerned about people fucking in the bathroom during a concert, but guess what? I'm non-binary and I wanted to use the bathroom and not feel uncomfortable the whole goddamn time.
I love you.
I love you too.
Grr. But also, no, goddamn, I lost my thought. What else I was gonna bring up? Oh yeah, this month, let's just be super vocal for the trans community, and as a member of the trans community, let's just be super vocal against these fucking TERFs and the LGB drop the T communities, and like just be like, go fuck yourselves. We're here. We're not going fucking anywhere. Get used to it because we've been here forever.
Specifically J.K. Rowling. Do not buy any fucking Harry Potter merchandise. Fuck that woman. Daniel Radcliffe even said fuck that woman. Like, I'm still waiting for you to block me. I'm going to tag you when I release this episode on the Twitter. I want you to fucking block me. That would be the highest honor.
But like,
fucking TERF.
But like, here's the thing that I love. Is if we're super vocal, especially during this month, the TERFs are gonna fucking hate it, and it's just gonna be we're just gonna be sitting there drinking a big glass of TERF tears.
Yes, I need earrings like this now. That instead of boys' tears, they're TERF tears.
Yes, I need that.
All of the queers on Etsy will lose their shit.
But yeah, it's just a month. To kind of like be really there and show you're, an ally. This is another month for like some trans people to come out. It's been a month where I've seen allies come out and be like, look, I don't know if I've ever made it apparent before, but like, just know that I am safe for you, kind of thing. Because some people still do that every year. I got a memory when I first came out as a trans person, and I was like, holy crap, it's November, it's transgender. That's how I always know, because Facebook reminds me. Facebook's not the greatest,
Fuck you, Zuckerberg. Also, fuck you, Elon Musk on fucking Twitter.
Oh, God.
Ugh. Guys, Tumblr's back, and it's very queer, and it's very allyship. I literally just got an email from them yesterday about, hey, if you're an artist, you come to the right place, or you might have manifested this. But also, they have we're really queer, really open, and really friendly. This is a no-hate zone, like literally from Tumblr themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like,
Tumblr's been a very queer space.
It's also coming back since Twitter has been I've looked at the LGBT community, have been punching fucking Musk's Twitter account down, like beating the shit out of that comment section.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, yeah, we're just going back to Tumblr. Fuck Twitter. We're going to Tumblr. Bye, guys.
Yeah, it's really bad. So the next thing I wanted to bring up, unless you have something else you want to talk about Transgender Awareness Month.
No.
Okay. But yeah, Tumblr's back.
Tumblr's back and
go to Tumblr.
Gayer than ever. So go over there and be gay and be queer and have all the fun.
So legalization is on the ballots for a lot of states, and I wanted to bring that up since election season is around the corner. For us at the time of recording, it is tomorrow. So
time of release, it is today. If you're listening to this the day of release and you have not done so already, number one, I'm ashamed of you. You should have done it already. Go vote.
Yeah, because we released this at the evening now.
In the evening, go vote.
Go vote if you have not done so. So marijuana legal or cannabis
words.
Red leather, yellow leather, red leather, yellow leather. She shells by the seashore. I'm Sean Connery. So cannabis legislation, and I'm reading an article from Shauna Mazzelli. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. At CNN Political News article was posted 2 days ago. Cannabis she says marijuana, but I'd rather say cannabis because it's not racially charged or has racist history anyway. Cannabis legislation is on the ballot for Arkansas, Maryland, Missouri, North, and South Dakota. Which, can I just say, Maryland needs fucking weed. They can't fucking drive. Just give them goddamn weed.
Mm-hmm. So they can stay home and out of my fucking way.
So, okay. Maryland people, we love you. It's just funny because I don't like their driving, but I mean,
I really haven't met many people from Maryland that I like. So the ones I do know from Maryland, I don't like.
Well, there goes all our Maryland listeners.
I'm so sorry. I know that there are probably some good people down there, but you haven't showed me many of them, and your drivers have a lot to be desired. That's the Pennsylvania thing, is that no Maryland drivers.
Well, but that's also the Virginia thing too.
Yeah. Oh, fuck Maryland drivers.
I will say though, you have blessed us with Old Bay, so I cannot be too mad with you.
Yeah, thanks for that. I will go down there for some crab. I will definitely have somebody else drive though, because I can't.
No, dude, fucking. Okay, so as someone who grew up next to the Chesapeake Bay, anytime that someone tries telling me Chesapeake Bay blue crab, I am not fucking buying that shit.
I want king crab.
Oh yeah, we can go down for like king crab down
snow
there.
Snow crab. Blue. I don't want the little baby blue crabs. No.
Okay, so going back to the article.
Weed. You need weed to go with your crab.
I'm actually surprised that North and South Dakota are on this list.
Yeah.
But like, good, because if there's going to be a state that's going to grow that as a crop rotation, I don't know how the soil is exactly for it. It might be too cold. I don't fucking know. But I would not doubt that would be a good summer crop for them, especially outside during the year.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, good on you. I mean, what else is there to fucking do in North and South Dakota? No, okay, be honest. What other than what other than being in the big cities?
Yeah.
What else is there to do in any rural fucking area in the United States? What the fuck is there to do in rural Pennsylvania? What the fuck is there to do in rural North and South Dakota?
Smoke fucking weed.
Fuck is there to do in rural, I don't know, Idaho?
Smoke fucking weed.
Smoke weed. You know what? I think it'd be a lot cooler if y'all just smoked weed.
Yeah.
But the article continues. If approved, these states would join the 19, along with the Washington, D.C. States where recreational is currently legal. 37 states, 3 territories, and D.C. also allow medical use of cannabis products. And according to the National Conference of State Legislature, medical cannabis is currently legal in each of the 5 states that will vote during this month. Arkansas, a constitutional amendment known as Issue 4, would allow cannabis possession and consumption by adults as well as the sale by licensed facilities. It would allow cannabis possession up to an ounce, and some tax revenue would contribute to funding law enforcement. Melissa, yeah, the
weed money
law
going to
enforcement.
The cops.
Yeah, kind of ironic a little bit there.
Kind of. Could be blind not to see it. The blind man can see the irony. Continue. I'm sorry.
Melissa Fultz, a board member of the Arkansas chapter of for the National National Organization
for the Reform of Marijuana Laws,
has expressed dismay about the proposed amendment because she said it would create a huge monopoly for Arkansas's cultivators and retailers. The initiative would create 12 additional cultivation facility licenses and a lottery for 40 additional adult use dispensary licenses to join the 80 that will be given to existing medical dispensaries.
That's cool.
She also criticized the lack of avenue for people who have been convicted for cannabis offenses to expunge their record. Quote, I was written by the cultivators, paid for by the cultivators, and no one benefits, only benefits the cultivators. It would hurt the patients, consumers, and Arkansas, Fultz told CNN. Quote, again, if it passes, it would be the worst and most expensive cannabis program in the nation, end quote. And that's super fair because that's a big thing I'm worried about when PA goes rec is all the MSOs are just going to control everything still because they already have a monopoly here on the medical field, and then they're not going to do anything that's going to be easy for like small businesses to kind of start with adult use. Like we can't have a My CBD store for actual recreational because an MSO is going to buy it or they're going to shove them out of the lottery way, or it's going to be too expensive for them to start up.
Yeah.
The Family Council Action Committee, which is typically on the opposite side of normal when it comes to relaxing cannabis laws, also voiced concerns over proposed regulation. If Issue 4 passes, Arkansas will be one of the least regulated cannabis industries in America, Jerry Cox, the executive director of the Family Council Action Committee, told CNN. State and local officials will be powerless to restrict cannabis or raise taxes on it. And a handful of businesses and bureaucrats will control cannabis in Arkansas. This is a recipe for disaster, end quote. If it's passed, legislation will go into effect March 8th, 2023. Maryland, also a proposed constitutional amendment known as Question 4, will give voters the chance to legalize recreational cannabis for people ages 21 and up. If passed, it will only go into effect until July 1st, 2023, and it'll allow possession of 1.5 ounces or 2 plants.
Interesting.
It also allowed those previously convicted of cannabis possession and intent to distribute to apply for record expungement. That's good. Good on you, Maryland.
Good on you.
Possession of small amounts of cannabis is already decriminalized in Maryland. Missouri, another proposed constitutional amendment, will give voters the option to end prohibition on cannabis in the state and allow personal use for those over the age of 21. It would allow for personal possession up to 3 ounces.
That's a lot of pot.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
The amendment will also allow individuals with cannabis-related non-violent offenses to petition for release from prison or parole, and probation and have their records expunged. Amendment prohibits cannabis facilities from selling cannabis-infused products shaped or packaged as candy that may be attractive to children. Amendment 3, which this is known as, would impose a 6% tax on the retail of recreational cannabis. The amendment language says it will not permit cannabis use while operating a motor vehicle or, quote, undertake any task under the influence of cannabis when doing so would constitute negligence or professional malpractice, end quote. But this one seems like it's going to be the fastest to enact. If passed, it would be enacted 30 days after the election, which makes me think they already have the system in place, or I hope, knock on wood, that they have the system already fucking in place and they're just waiting for the go-ahead from voters. North Dakota, and a citizen-initiated ballot measure. Wow.
Wow.
They got a lot of signatures. Would allow use of cannabis in various forms, and it's quoted there, various forms, for those who are at least 21 or older. The petition also states that all cannabis will be tested in a facility for the potency of products and presence of pesticides, and that cannabis businesses will be subject to random inspections. That's good.
Yes.
They I feel like every cannabis facility, whether you grow, sell, turn it into whatever form, whatever you do, should do what we do in the state of PA and inspect them do an audit every 6 months by the DOH, by whatever group controls cannabis in your state, and basically do essentially almost like a food safety and a hospital inspection, or I guess a pharmacy inspection would probably be more applicable.
Yeah.
The measure would allow cannabis possession up to 1 ounce, and voters previously rejected a ballot measure in 2018 that aimed to fully legalize it. But if passed, it would also become law after 30 days after the election. But when does it start? It doesn't say when it starts, though.
No.
South Dakota, it's also back on the ballots after the state court nullified the results of the 2020 legalization ballot measure. Measures 27 would legalize cannabis possession, use, and distribution. According to the ballot measure, if passed, cannabis possession of up to 1 ounce will be legalized. Also, would legalize possession of paraphernalia.
Interesting.
South Dakota Governor Kristi Noem. Ugh. I hate saying her name. It makes me feel sick in my mouth. I feel acid reflux.
That's what that was? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I just thought that was greatly timed.
Well, no, because this is why. No, it's for Kristi Noem. She makes me feel that.
Yeah, I thought your acid reflux was just timed very perfectly with saying her name.
A Republican whose office championed the nullification of the process previously on the basis of unconstitutionality has indicated to CNN if Measure 27 is passed again, she would implement it. If passed, it would be enacted on July 1st of next year, or 2023. And then the article continues a federal push for decriminalization, talking about the Biden administration pardonings and currently the start of the Department of Health and Human Services and Attorney General Merrick Garland to review everything with the FDA and see if we can't deschedule it.
I also like how at the end of each one of these cannabis articles, they end it with, under the 1970 Controlled Substances Act, marijuana is listed as a Schedule I drug, like heroin and LSD, meaning it has, quote, no currently accepted medical use and has a high potential for abuse.
Mm-hmm.
But they did add an amendment sentence to the end of that, which everybody usually closes with. But in recent years, its medical benefits had become more acknowledged, which is nice. But also, I hate that everybody adds that shit on the end of it.
Well, because they have to.
Legally, they have to do it.
It's like every time we have like a training.
This is not medical advice.
Yeah, where it's like, hey, these strains help with this effect. This is not medical advice. Yeah, but it kind of is.
But we're not allowed to say that.
I know. I also am not a doctor, so everything I've been saying is not technically medical advice, but like I can make recommendations about how I felt with it, you know?
Mm-hmm. Honestly, anything that anybody says is not medical advice if I'm not a doctor.
Yeah,
a licensed doctor, not just calling themselves doctor.
Looking at you, Dr. fucking goddamn Mehmet Oz.
Ugh.
Yeah, that's all we had for this episode. We got some time to kill though. We just want to like vibe.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, voting next tomorrow. I'm not looking forward to that.
I'm looking forward to the commercials being fucking gone.
Oh yes.
I hate it when people are like, "Oh, if you're just one of those people who just wants the commercials gone, you're part of the problem because you're passive." I'm like, "Bitch, I'm a fucking vote. I'm still sick of the goddamn commercials."
Yeah, you're allowed to be sick and vote. Because
listen, they're they play on your psychology, and like it's just fucking it's literally just blackmail, slander, lies, bullshit that I don't think should be legal.
Can I just say though, I fucking love the ads I see on some of the billboards. Like if you love drugs, vote for Biden and Josh Shapiro, who's currently running for our governor.
Fuck yeah, that's why I'm voting for him. I like pot.
And I'm like, yeah,
why the hell else wouldn't I?
What? You're really what? You're saying this in one of the most highest population of dispensaries in the state.
Of course we're going to vote for them.
What? Like Philly and Pittsburgh. I'm pretty sure. I'm not sure which one is bigger.
If you like drugs, vote for them. Yeah.
But there's so many dispensaries in both states. I mean, they are the biggest cities in the state, too. I mean, Harrisburg's probably got a decent amount. But
Harrisburg's up there.
But I know Harrisburg doesn't have nearly the same amount as what we have here in Pittsburgh.
Absolutely not.
There's so many in the Pittsburgh area.
They just made our point for us.
Yeah.
It's just who paid for that billboard?
Yeah.
Is it the anti people or is it the for people? Because that could be an interesting psychology trick.
Are they pulling in reverse psychology like the truth ads?
Yep.
Oh my god. Also, can I just say, like, everyone's like, oh, Fetterman wants to get, like, he's tired of tough on crime laws. I said, yeah, tough on crime laws have a minimum state sentencing, even for people who accidentally, like, oh, I was at a shooting range, my gun jammed on, I moved it to unjam it and accidentally shot someone.
Yeah.
Guess what? That's minimum, third degree manslaughter
in
some states.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm not saying, like, I'm just pulling in a random example out of my high ass right now, but fun. What he's trying to do is he's trying to make it so, like, people who are wrongfully convicted aren't going to suffer as much as they have been in the state. And I'm like, okay, fucking fair, because there's a lot of people who've been wrongfully convicted in this state and other states, and you're fucking across the country and other countries. Maybe we should, kind of fucking ease up a little to kind of fix that. It's just a smidge. Like, actually get proper fucking evidence. I don't fucking know.
Maybe, like, take a step back, and since you're not prosecuting people so hard, take a look at the people who are prosecuting the people.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of protecting the people.
Can I just say how much I love we're doing this podcast?
Yeah, same.
We've been doing this for over a year now, and
can we talk? Speaking of over a year, we've been in this apartment
for
over a year now.
Yep.
A year officially, yeah.
We've been Pittsburghers for a year.
Brothers is just down the street. They don't close for it. No, I don't need a burger. You said Permani burger. My stomach went, yes, please.
Maybe tomorrow.
Oh, that'd be great. Oh, these go now. I'm sorry, I'm sitting here playing with my chair. This is what happens when we have extra time on the podcast.
Yeah, it is. It just turns into a variety show.
Yeah, pretty much. It turns into Good Mythical More. You start out with a vague premise, and then it just goes away from there.
No, but I definitely want to try those edibles, and I don't want to do them all on the podcast because that's a recipe for disaster.
Do them all at once on the podcast.
No.
Big disaster.
No, but we should definitely like get it like a little notebook. You know, try the recipes as they come or as I find some. We'll make them, and then maybe every day, every other day, or whenever we feel like, hey, I want to try this edible, we'll write down how we feel and judge them based on that.
Yeah.
And we're just gonna go with how we feel, you know. So
affects not like how the edible is.
No. But like I was
Section
gonna say,
4.
I was gonna say like gut check. I mean, obviously
Gut check.
I was thinking
I
like
was
that.
thinking too.
But I was
we
like,
can't do that. That's
we
a
can't.
GMM thing.
Yeah, but like I was thinking something like that at first. We can't do that with edibles.
No.
I don't know if you guys heard that or not. Our cat just jumped on something.
He was on the back of the toilet. That's what that sound was.
I didn't want to go that specific, but okay. Our cat's on our toilet.
So, the people that have cats that listen to this understand. They go everywhere. Every surface is a floor to a cat.
No, but like we should probably do like how the edible was as food.
Yeah.
That should be its own part of the category.
How did it taste, texture, good?
Yeah. And then the medicinal benefits of the cannabis. And like how did it work as an infused thing?
Yeah.
So it will average those two scores, and then that's that score, and then we'll take whoever had the best, highest, average score between the both of us.
Mm-hmm.
So no, what we should do is average the score in each category. So say if I wrote something, we'll do it out of 10 to give it a wider range. If like I say, okay, this recipe as food is really good, but it was lacking as a 2. So 5 and a 2, and you had like a 4 and a 1, that would be average of that 4 and 5 and that 1 and 2, and then you add those together.
Okay.
That makes sense?
Yeah, kind of.
So we average between the rating in each category, and then we add the 2 ratings together.
Yeah.
I think that would be good. Yeah. Or should we go higher than 10? I think like 10's good.
10's good.
Out of 10's good.
10's good.
Okay. And then we'll report on like how we felt about it and everything on the final episode of the month. But it looks like we're hitting that time.
So,
once again, my name is Rayven. I use she, her pronouns.
I'm Alex, they, them pronouns.
And this has been another episode of
Smoking Out the Closet.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
God, I'm so fucking high. Rayven here. I just wanted to make a little ad for our Patreon that we started. First and foremost, all the funds generated with this Patreon is going to go directly back into the podcast, whether that's better equipment so we can make better sounding episodes, give you guys really cool stuff like stickers, pictures, nice little trinkets from us, or be able to travel to places where there is legal weed or there's certain LGBT communities that we want to interact with and talk to, and potentially have some really cool guests come on the show. Now, right now our Patreon is bare bones, and I do apologize with that, but we hope to make it a little better as time goes on. Right now we have 3 tiers: flower, vape cartridges, and concentrates. Flower is $3 per month. Vapes is $6 per month, and concentrates is $9 per month. With flower, you get access to our Discord, the Scuttle Zone, a private Discord that we have for you guys to kind of interact with each other and potentially interact with us. We have things for like different aspects of the cannabis community and LGBT community where you guys can talk to and kind of just interact with each other and learn from each other, and learn with us. But you also get early access to these episodes. You get a day or two, basically immediately after I'm done editing the episode, I am putting it on the Patreon so you guys can listen to it early. With vape, you have everything from the flower, but you also have access to the private chat room in the Discord server for one-on-one discussions and questions for us. You'll have the ability to basically be, hey, I have a question about this certain thing, and we'll answer it at the end of every episode. We won't get to everyone all at the same time, obviously, but we'll spread it out through the month and be able to get to as many questions as we can. And then with the concentrates, you get everything from flower and vape, but you also get behind the scenes looks at what we do here. I'll show like what I'm editing and like maybe little sound files or like little clips of what we're working on. Our show notes, so you get to see that early, potentially, knowing what topics we're going to be talking about on this next episode. Pictures of stuff in and outside of the recording stuff, like things like cannabis festivals. We'll take pictures and post some of them online, but with the behind the scenes access, you get to see all of that. Basically, all the dumb faces we make at each other, all the cool stuff that we see, and all the cute things that we find. It's my hope with this Patreon that we'll be able to go far and wide and hopefully be able to see some of you guys or have some live shows in the future where you guys can come and interact with us. And obviously no pressure. I just want to make sure that you guys are aware of this, and first and foremost, take care of you guys yourselves. If you don't have money to support it, or if something happens you have to stop, we totally understand. Thanks.